Each FIFA on the Wii has something that makes it unique, and FIFA 12's was implementing The Sims? Build the ultimate FIFA city is what the back of the box says, which sounded cool, until I realized the game mode associated with it was locked. In order to reach this new mode, you need to start earning awards, which builds your city, increases your population, and your level. After unlocking some in kickoff, I got to level 3, created my city's kit, and unlocked the Inner City Cup. And it's literally just playing 10 street matches and having to level up more to participate in another tournament. This time, 10 regular matches. Well, damn, that's kind of anticlimactic. I don't think I can really create a video about this. The prior year's Street to the Stadium returned, but it was the same as FIFA 11. I have a video on that if you're interested. Then there's the underwhelming battle for It's now called Be a Manager? Finally, manager mode on the Wii has more to it. You can choose a top or lower division team. What's the point of separating this? Regardless, I became the manager of Cagliari, and you can create your manager. Even better, he can play in games too. So, welcome to Cagliari's new boss, Gennaro Chroo, a tough tackling midfielder whose performances as a player and manager are
sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe
I have a lot of nostalgia for FIFA 12, specifically Ultimate Team on the Xbox 360. There were cards that were unattainable because they were silver. Different from the modern Ultimate Team over 10 years ago, silvers and even low-rated gold cards with unique attributes performed exceptionally in-game, and even some bronzes. I wanted to try some of them, which leads to the return of an actual transfer budget. No more stars. Although, you can only make 12 transfers and sales in a season. So after selling a few players, we went for my number 1 target, Stefan El Shaarawy. The AC Milan youngster was worth over 100k coins on Ultimate Team, but on the Wii, all I had to do was bid 6.3 million. Wait, Chelsea outbid me? No, Roma, you're about 5 years too early. Okay, they dropped out, and we got Elsha for 7.7 million. This is how it works for both buying and selling. One tries to outbid another until there's a single bid left. Unfortunately, some clubs had the same idea as me, with several targets going elsewhere. Realistically, you could bid on your rival's stars and weaken them. Unfortunately, the calendar landed on game days, unlike other versions of FIFA 12. So all the decisions had to be made before our opening match. That led to this starting 11. Agazi in goal, Agostini at left back, with Kani in the middle. Paired with him was David Astori. Rest in peace. Our new right back was Łukasz Piszczek, although his rating, like a lot of players on the Wii version, is lower than the 360 and PlayStation. Of course, defensive midfield had Chroo, while the center mid saw Raja Nangolan and Victor Ibarbo. Their Ultimate Team glory days were still ahead of them. El Shaarawy was at cam, and at striker saw El Kabir, whose rating was higher than expected. His partner wouldn't be Marlos, who was signed. One of several amazing Brasilver cards, his starting spot would be taken by Emmanuel Emenike! Again, his FIFA Prime was not at this point, but just you wait. Before starting your season, you get to pick your objectives. Accomplishing these increases your prestige, which is a number out of 99 that needs to be higher than your team's overall rating. If not, you may get sacked. You can also pick your sponsor, which determines how much money you make from a home game, a win, and achieving a league title. Something that was in old career mode, but only ever returned here. Getting into our first match, it felt a little slower than the previous few FIFAs. That wasn't meant to be an excuse for conceding first. We're playing on the hardest difficulty on 2-minute halves, so this isn't ideal. However, that's why we bought Emenike, as he cuts inside to bang in the equalizer. I didn't expect that to go in, and I'd be saying that a lot. Emenike got close again before halftime, and in the second, we nearly conceded. Going the other way, Elsha found El Kabir, and he made Genoa regret that miss. The Els combination was enough, as we won in our debut. After that, the player growth is shown, as a painstakingly long process to fill this bar has returned. Improving somebody's overall will take a while, so that's why we have training. The better facilities you have, the more numbers you can train, and the better the growth. A player focuses on one of the main attributes, and after a certain amount of games, something will happen. Since 10 felt too long to wait for results, we upgraded our facilities by buying cones, balls, and a chalkboard worth $500,000 each. You can also buy a bus for that price. Now we can train 4 players. In addition, that unlocked awards for our FIFA city, a bus depot for our new bus, training pitches, which should have been here already, and a media facility to spread MNEK propaganda. Juventus in real life went undefeated this season, and with their sharp pink kits, I was expecting a challenge. Marlos though brought out his inner Brasilver by dancing past their back line to open the scoring. Then, with a half hour left, disaster struck. Oh, that was not a foul, referee. What are you on about? Red card? For what? What did I do? Why was Chroo so clapping for that? Oh my days. 10 men or 11, we would overcome the corruption with Elsha grabbing the second. Our keeper Agazi kept things safe as the bright start continued. I won't be playing every match and will allow fate to decide some outcomes, as it did with a 1-0 win over Cesena and a loss to Catania. That'll happen. But in games like Lazio, we need to guarantee a strong performance. Sending in through balls has a 50-50 success rate, but even when it works, the shooting wasn't perfect. We needed to make things easier for ourselves, so MNEK decided to get tackled for a penalty and allowed Ibarbo to take it. The future Sweat King completely missed the net. Not long later though, we won the ball off Lazio and Elsha took the lead. His shooting can be inconsistent though. How about free kicks? So we're gonna do this. That might have been too much. Yeah. Marchetti kept Lazio alive, but their strikers did nothing as we got our 4th win. Simming Chievo Verona, we lost. A bounce back was needed against Parma. A team once with a ton of drama. They had Ant-Man Sebastian Giovinco, but we have MNEK, so they never had a chance. Elsha scored a banger later, and while we would concede, MNEK immediately responded with this. I guess that settles the captaincy. I just wish I could give him a different number other than 2. Regardless, a nice victory, followed by a draw to Lecce. Bologna wouldn't be an issue, with MNEK settling things. MNEK. Montreal Impact's finest, Marco Di Vaio, would put us down by 1. It seemed like our first loss with Chroo dictating things from the pitch was upon us. And it was. The good news was that the training results were shown. And wow. This will continue throughout the season. We also participated in the Coppa Nazionale, which is the Coppa Italia. Each round is 2 legs, but we'll sim them unless a game becomes necessary to play. We did the same with Udinese, and damn, we cooked. Plus, training boosts aren't just 1 overall increases. Both Ibarbo and Elsha grew by 2. I think that deserves a reward. We already had a team bus, so how about a train? Not a bad price for a functioning transit system. On the other hand, targets, parachutes, and a video analyst for 5 million each seems like a scam. But it allows more players to be trained. Although, 12 million for a wall is something. Inflation must have hit Italy hard. Inter were on the cusp of their era of banter, and it began with us. A sweaty goal from MNEK opened the scoring. Get your spit out. That was the saying. Right, Jamie?
I hope so.
Ibarbo smacking the bar should have been the last notable moment from this match. Instead, 10 minutes from the end... Oh, wow. Well, MNEK responds. Back in the lead thanks to MNEK. He can tap it in, he can score bangers, he can do it all. Oh... What? Red card? What? No! How is that a red? Is Mike Dean here again? A second time this season? Unjust red? This is a disgrace. Class got to us there. Ooh. You can't stop MNEK though. I wouldn't say this is MNEK's world. More like, this is MNEK's universe. Tied with Zlatan as Serie A's top scorer, the two would face off next. No. He's already had matches with...
I'm like the wine. The older I get, the better I get.
Mi pato. Oh, MNEK, come on, get there. First, get there first. No! El Kabir. But he's got a goal himself. Let's go. Wait, let's take a shot from here. Whew, long ago. All right, this is gonna be a penal. Give him a red card. How are you saying that's a dive, mate? Absolute fraudulent tackle. Ibarbo stepping up. We're shooting in the middle. And we draw 1-1. Of course, with Emenike becoming our penalty taker, we wouldn't receive another call all season. The draws continued with Novara, who are the lowest rated team in the division. That led to Raja Nangolan injuring his leg. Out for 4 games, it was time to buy a physiotherapist to drop that down. However, the table is an extra 5 million. Palermo was up with a young Ilicic and Fabrizio Micoli. The latter has an interesting post-playing career. Who cares about that? Let's focus on Emenike. Not really giving us options, but that's okay, because El Kabir is in the middle. Touch, and bang! He'll teach you a lesson, this time to Marlos. Micoli would score 1 late, but we left with the victory. More attribute boosts were earned, as a gym was built. Scouting youth players returned to FIFA 12 on the Wii, where you can send a scout to select countries to find the next star. We sent ours to Czech Republic, and we'll get the results soon. Roma has a decent team, and we needed a Ghazi to make a massive save before Emenike opened the scoring. This was going to be his day again, as a hat-trick was earned in a 3-1 victory. Wins continued to arrive with Atalanta, which brought in a cafeteria. Then our scout arrived, and I signed Alexander Zelikov since he has excellent potential. The man arrived in style, as not only was a club diner built for him, he arrived in a helicopter. Siena saw another victory, but Fiorentina would be trouble. They've been doing well in the league and countered us to score first. However, they couldn't stop Emenike, as this is his story. Later, Nangolan returning from injury aided with a deadly through ball to the Nigerian for the lead. Fiorentina did keep this interesting with Gilardino's equalizer, but after the half, no, that's not a red card. It's not a red card, ref. It's not a red card. No! Chroo, not again! Despite that, another 3 points. A trio of matches with Napoli followed in 2 separate competitions. Following the first, the training boosts arrived and Emenike grew to 84 overall. Based on his form, that would make sense, and Ibarbo at 79 is pretty crazy too. I should also mention that steroids, game boosters from Battle for Glory are no longer in this mode. Continuing with Napoli, multiple 2-0 wins arrived, leading to a fountain, 3 points, and a semi-final spot in the Coppa Nazionale. Halfway through the campaign, we were in second, and Emenike was unsurprisingly Serie A's top goal scorer. After a Genoa draw, I made a deal with my Twitch chat. You can check me out at twitch.tv/thecrew, where I sometimes stream. Nevertheless, I said if I received 5 gifted subs, I would play the Czech Zelikov in every match I controlled. I should have said some number much higher than that, as against Fiorentina, he was caught out by Stefan Jovetic. We were defending poorly, as a second was conceded thanks to my fullbacks keeping Fiorentina onside. Thankfully, despite Marlos hitting the crossbar twice from chip shots, he ended up getting 2 goals from a rebound and an interesting clearance. It was Marlos' day today, as later on, the Brazilian would grab his 3rd, along with the victory. All of that only to lose to Siena 3-2 at home. As a result of that, 6 points separated us and AC Milan with 16 games remaining. Before those, the Coppa Nazionale semi-final first leg against Catania was looking like a win. With 10 minutes left, Zelikov had to deal with this cross. Huh? I honestly was hoping that Zelikov would win the header. Instead does a half volley pass, and my keeper misses the header. So we drew Catania. But the good news is that Emenike grew to 87 overall, along with others getting massive boosts. In our pursuit for Serie A, Atalanta were defeated, but there's always some roadblock. Roma earned a free kick against us, and Totti smacked the post, with Greccio putting in the rebound. We could only manage a goal from Łukasz Piszczek for a draw. Victories returned with Palermo, Novara, and Manchester United. We set up a friendly, and defeating them gave us a club shop and gates. Interesting. As was visiting AC Milan. They've increased their gap above us to 8 points, but with players like Emenike and Marlos first and third in goal scoring, plus El Kabir's rapid growth, a win was possible. El Kabir's through. No, why did I just shoot? To the story, 1 second. Let me bang with Emenike. That's what he does. Alright. Halftime, I'd be happy with this score. Of course, Chroo cannot. Oh my, Zelikov and Chroo frauding it. A story takes down Zlatan. And halftime is here. El Kabir. Woo! EA! What is this pass targeting there? And there are 2 other players. Oh shoot, Zlatan. Okay, that was bad by me. El Kabir bringing it down. El Shaarawy through. Elsha against his former team. Will he celebrate? Of course. 90th minute. The keeper's coming up. Will Milan equalize, or will we get a massive win at the San Siro? Our keeper gets to it first. And Emenike, run. Oh no. Shoot. No, don't shoot. Yes, Agostini, kick it up. Let's go. Milan defeated. The gap was lowered for now. All we could do was continue the form and improve our attributes. In addition, we officially avoided relegation. In the Coppa Nazionale's second leg, Catania was destroyed. We were dancing on these fools with 7 being scored. Emenike continued to be a cheat code, and Inter also couldn't handle the Nigerian. In spite of fraudulent refereeing to Inter's advantage, seeing another red card and Sneijder free kick goal, Emenike would grab another 2, and Nangolan added another to confirm the victory. Winning became natural with 5 more on the trot. Udinese, Bologna, Parma, Chievo, and Lazio. This perfect run put us into first place by a point. There were 4 games left to keep this lead over AC Milan, but a potential omen for what was to come was next. The Coppa Nazionale final against them. Through ball to El Kabir. El Kabir. Boom! 1-0. Too easy. You're no match for Cagliari. This is how the season's gonna go. We're gonna keep winning. You're gonna keep losing. We're gonna win all the trophies. And you're gonna sell all your best players to PSG. Why did you jump before the tackle even happened? No, where's Zelikov? Zlatan is through. And Zlatan scores. Oh no. Oh no. Ambrosini scores on us. 2-1 Milan. There's still another half to win. We can get it back right before halftime. Elsha against his former... No, El Shaarawy. Alright, halftime. We're down in the cup final. In behind to Emenike. Emenike. Bang it. He stopped. What is happening to our team? Oh my, Milan are cooking. Pato. No, Zlatan. No. No. Chroo collapses. Milan 4-1. We are absolutely devastated. Agazi already bowed down before the ball went in. How are they making these tackles? How? Oh my gosh. Bro, we are getting cooked. No, don't make it 5.
I'm playing to win, and to win I will destroy you.
Again, Agostini keeping Zlatan on side.
Not this year. It all proved too much for them on the day. They've had a great run, but this is a terrible way for it to end. Beaten in the final.
Why are AC Milan not celebrating though? They're like, light work. Easy. Now we need to win the league, or else I'll never live that down. We simmed against Catania and Cesena, which resulted in 4 points. A 1-1 draw to Cesena wasn't ideal. Before the penultimate match versus Juventus, we were in second, but Milan already played. A win puts us back into first, and to bring up the vibes, we decided to buy pain relief and a massage table. 5 million for a sauna and acupuncturist was too much though. Regardless, a doctor's office was built. Will this be enough to win? Despite not having any impact on the results since no one was injured.
Off his
Does he have the skills to pay the bills? Ha ha ha! Off the man's nuts and in. 2-0 Cagliari. El Kabir is through. El Kabir to make it 3. One more win away from the league title. El Kabir's 92. El Kabir is now the best overall player on the team. Your team has secured the league champions this season. Yeah, Milan played prior to our last fixture, so this Napoli match was just for fun. A fantastic season for Cagliari, winning their first Scudetto since 1970. That brought the end to the race to Scudetto 2. Emenike was the top scorer by far, while Marlos and El Kabir contributed well too. Here's the stats for the rest of the team. It was fun going back in time to play FIFA 12 on the Wii. FIFA 09 all plays, Lily has the better manager mode. However, FIFA 12 has the most to do, with Be a Manager, Streets to the Stadium, and the Inner City Cup, which is kind of underwhelming, but that's okay. Plus achievement hunting to build your city. Only the World Cup game can compete with value for money. I still say the gameplay isn't perfect and can be pretty jank. It's not as fun compared to FIFA 10, but that game is literally football on crack. Overall though, you could argue that this is the best FIFA on the Wii, especially with Lazio getting relegated.